Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Karen Haas, and I am the MFA's Lane Senior Curator of Photographs. In honor of Pride Month, today's Nancy Lee Clark Soundbites concert series performance will explore themes of solidarity, radical self-expression, and validating representation through the music of Anjimile and the photography of Jess Dugan. Before we hear from them in person, it is my pleasure to briefly introduce both of these extraordinary artists. Anjimile is a Boston-based queer and trans musician and first-generation Malawian-American who was raised in Richardson, Texas, a suburb of Dallas. Their early experiences with racism, homophobia, and xenophobia in the South and beyond have helped form the basis of their radical queer politics today. Named Music Artist to Watch by NPR in 2019 and winner of WBUR's favorite Massachusetts entry to the Tiny Desk contest in 2018. Anjimile was also nominated for 3 Boston Music Awards in 2018. Singer-Songwriter of the Year, Unsigned Artist of the Year, and Folk Artist of the Year. In a few minutes, Anjimile will share with us 3 original compositions that explore transmasculinity, self-acceptance, and queer triumph. Each composition was chosen because of the way it resonated with the photographs of Jess Dugan. Jess is an artist whose work explores issues of identity, gender, sexuality, and community through photographic portraits. Their work has been shown in galleries and museums across the country, including here at the MFA, where I am thrilled to say we have 3 of the photographs from the Every Breath We Drew series in the museum's permanent collection. Jess's photographs have also been on view in recent MFA exhibitions, including My Unexpected Family Show in 2017, and this year in Personal Space, a really powerful installation of self-portraits on paper. Speaking for the museum, I really want to say just how pleased we are to hold space for these 2 exceptional artists today. And now it is my real honor to welcome Jess Dugan, who will share with you thoughts on their artistic practice and vision before introducing Anjimile, our featured musician for today's Nancy Lee Clark Soundbites concert series performance. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thank you Karen for that wonderful introduction. I'm really honored to have my work in the collection of the MFA Boston, and I'm especially excited to be collaborating with Anjimile on today's program. I'm Jess T. Dugan, and for anyone just tuning in, we're here for a virtual Soundbites concert performance in honor of Pride Month. I'm a photographer who works primarily with portraiture, and my work focuses on issues of identity, gender, sexuality, and community, often pulling from my own experiences as a queer and gender nonconforming person. I'm going to share 2 projects with you today, but before I do, I want to show you a picture. This is me when I was 8 years old. I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, looking almost exactly the same as I look today. And from a very early age, it was reflected back at me that there was something about my gender that was not what people expected of me. I didn't look and act the way a little girl was supposed to look and act. And so I grew up with this heightened awareness of gender and identity, particularly the ways that these things affect your experiences in the world. Fortunately for me, I moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts when I was 13, right before high school. For the local folks, I went to Cambridge Ringe and Latin. I came out as gay when I was 13, and I started questioning my gender shortly thereafter. When I was coming out as a young queer person, I didn't see myself represented in the broader culture. I first discovered images of queer and gender nonconforming people in the pages of fine art photography books, and this discovery was profoundly influential to me. I believe that representation is incredibly important, and my work is fueled by this idea. This is me at 16 at my high school prom. At the time, I was very involved in LGBTQ activism, and I decided to run for prom king, primarily as a political gesture, despite the fact that I had never been to a school dance. I have to give a shout out here to my high school photography teacher, Archie LaSalle, who covered the photography classroom with signs of support. Long story short, I ended up winning, and so I had to go to the prom, which I hadn't fully thought out when I decided to run. I wanted to show you this picture because it illustrates that my identity was always politicized, and I've always chosen to embrace that politicization in both my life and in my work. The first project I'm going to share with you today is called Every Breath We Drew, which I've been working on since 2011. This series examines the intersection of individual identity and the need for connection with others. This work is highly subjective and is informed by my own identity and desires. I'm particularly interested in exploring a gentler, more complicated version of masculinity than the one we typically see in the mainstream, an exploration informed by my own process of defining and embodying masculinity for myself. There are literal self-portraits in this series, such as this one, titled Self-Portrait Reaching. And you'll see another one a bit later from Anjimile. But the project as a whole, in some ways, feels like an extended self-portrait because the subjects are people I'm drawn to on a personal and energetic level. I often photograph in people's homes or other personal spaces, and I work slowly and collaboratively using a tripod and natural light, which allows me and the person I'm photographing to create a heightened sense of intimacy together. In addition to individual portraits and the self-portraits I mentioned, there are also images of couples, such as this one of Zach and Oscar, and this one of Jamie and Anne. There are also still life images, such as this image, titled Pillows, and this one, titled Jeans. These still life images allow me to talk about our universal need for connection with other people without depicting a specific couple or relationship. The second project I'm going to share with you is called To Survive on This Shore: Photographs and Interviews with Transgender and Gender Nonconforming Older Adults. I made this project between 2013 and 2018 in collaboration with my partner Vanessa Fabre, a social worker and researcher whose work focuses on the intersection of LGBTQ communities and aging. We created this project to address a lack of representations of transgender and gender nonconforming people, especially older adults. We also wanted to record the stories of this important group of people, many of whom were directly responsible for the social progress that we now benefit from. We had also heard from several younger trans folks that they had never seen an image of an older trans person, and they had no roadmap for what their life might look like as they aged. Over the course of 5 years, we photographed and interviewed 88 people throughout the United States. From the beginning, we sought diversity around gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, race and ethnicity, socioeconomic status, geographic location, and life narrative. Some of the people in our project transitioned as early as 1971, while others had transitioned as recently as 2016. We also intentionally included many people who identify as genderqueer or non-binary, pushing back against the idea that this is somehow a new identity. We went to big cities, small towns, and to every major region in the United States, seeking as broad of a group of participants as possible. In 2018, we published a book with German art book publisher Karen Verlag, which sold out within a few weeks and is now in its second printing. We sent a copy of the book to every participant, and many of them sent me images of themselves with the book. I learned later that most of them know exactly what page they're on. The project also exists as a museum exhibition and a community exhibition, which was designed for spaces outside of galleries and museums, such as senior centers, community centers, churches and synagogues, and universities. With every exhibition, we arrange as much programming as possible and involve the participants whenever we can. Education and advocacy was also a part of our mission from the beginning. With this in mind, we created a limited edition portfolio with 12 photographs and interviews that was available exclusively to teaching museums. We also partnered with several nonprofit organizations to use the work in training modules and advocacy campaigns, which we plan to continue doing for as long as possible. Last, we're donating the complete project, including the full interview transcriptions, to several archives to be preserved and used for future research and study. Thank you so much for listening and looking, everyone. You can see more of my work on my website, jessdugan.com, and you can find me on Instagram at Jess T. Dugan. You can also see more information about To Survive on This Shore on our project website, tosurviveonthisshore.com. Without further ado, here is Anjimile.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Jess. My name is Anjimile, and I'm here today to share with you 3 original songs that I chose because of their resonance with Jess T. Dugan's artwork. Specifically, photos from their ongoing series, Every Breath We Drew. If you would like to leave tips for me, please find me on Venmo at Anjimile. The first song I want to play for you is called Maker. This song is about transmasculine exploration and the subversion of traditional masculinity. As I was learning about Jess's photography, I was inspired by these 3 portraits. Self-portrait, Muscle Shirt, created in 2013. Raphael, Flowers, created in 2018. And Alex, Doc, created in 2017. I live in my own home. I live in my paper. The absence becomes me. A reticent specter. Why don't you do as you're told? Happiness isn't your goal. I'm not just a boy, I'm a man. I'm not just a man, I'm a god. I'm not just a god, I'm a maker. No country for crazy, but thank ya for asking. My markings and makings belong in the trash bin. Why don't you do as you're told? Happiness isn't your goal. I'm not just a boy, I'm a man. I'm not just a man, I'm a god. I'm not just a god, I'm a maker. Mind your maker. Have you ever seen anything quite like this? Have you ever known anything quite like this? Have you ever seen anything quite like this? Have you ever done anything quite like this? For anyone just tuning in, my name is Anjimile. I'm a queer and trans musician based in Boston, and I'm here today to share songs with you in honor of Pride Month. I've chosen a few songs that resonate with the artwork of photographer Jess Dugan. The next song I want to play for you is called In Your Eyes. This is a song about self-acceptance and self-uncertainty and ultimately just learning to live with one's identity. I chose this song because I was inspired by these 4 photos by Jess. Kelly and Jen, made in 2017. Laurel, made in 2014. Herb, made in 2013. And D'Angelo, made in 2018. Getting right in your eyes, spitting right divide? Was my body denied? Ooh, I can see what's in your eyes. No, I can't be what's in your eyes. Tell me, what do you have to say? Have you always been this way? I can't run and I can't hide. Was my body denied? I don't know. I don't know. Ooh, I can see what's in your eyes. No, I can't be what's in your eyes. Ooh, I can see what's in your eyes. No, I can't be what's in your eyes. No, I can't be what's in your eyes. The last song I'd like to share with you today is called To Meet You There. This is a song about spiritual growth and hope, recovery, and celebrating life. I was inspired to choose this song after seeing these portraits by Jess. Nino, created in 2012. Connor Pregnant, created in 2012. Colin, created in 2017. And Self-Portrait, Reaching, created in 2014. This performance of To Meet You There is dedicated to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Tony McDade, just 3 of thousands of Black Americans throughout American history who have been murdered by police officers as a result of police brutality and the violence of white supremacy. Black Lives Matter. After death, after life, I was up half the night. Hurricane never came, not for me, not again. I celebrate your celebration. I revel in your revelation. I holler in your hallelujah. In plain view your azaleas grew. I believe you now. Have I been unyielding? I crossed the line to meet you there. Have I been unwieldy? I'll walk the line to meet you there. I'll desire, I'll delight, I will give up the fight. All remorse, all regret, I forgive, not forget. I celebrate your celebration. I revel in your revelation. I holler in your hallelujah. In plain view your azaleas grew. I believe you now. Have I been unyielding? I cross the line to meet you there. Have I been unwieldy? I'll walk the line to meet you there. To meet you there. Catalyst light of mine, show me a sign. Catalyst light of mine, now is your time. Catalyst light of mine, show me a sign. Catalyst light of mine, now is your time. Now is your time. I celebrate your celebration. I revel in your revelation. I holler in your hallelujah. In plain view your azaleas grew. I believe you now. Have I been unyielding? I cross the line to meet you there. Have I been unwieldy? I'll walk the line to meet you there. To meet you there. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today for this virtual rendition of the MFA's Nancy Lee Clark Sound Bites concert series. My name is Anjimile, and you can follow me on Instagram @Anjimile.